Hi, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the Ordinary Argiline Solution 10% and Matrixyl 10% plus hyaluronic acid. Now both are peptide serums that have anti-aging benefits plus can give you a temporary plumping effect. And you can use them daily in the morning and or evening, either individually, so using one in the morning, the other one in the evening, or use them together, they do not conflict. Now it's completely fine to use them on their own because they already contain hydrating properties. However, throughout the day, if you have sun exposure, I still recommend following with sunscreen afterwards because you're trying to probably reduce the fine lines and wrinkles, so you do not want to make it worse. Therefore, sun protection is key throughout the day. However, in the evening, there's no sunscreen needed and it's fine to just use them on their own. Or if you still should feel the need and it shouldn't be hydrating enough, you can follow with a moisturizer afterwards. And then there you have an example of an evening skincare routine. Now, in case you want to go over the example routines again in your own time, plus want to know more about some of the conflicts and even the products that I have picked in my example routines, you will be able to find everything in the entire PowerPoint, which you will find in the description box down below, and you can download it to your device. But now I want to keep my main focus on the entire application. So I have this set up right here, and I primarily want to go with a morning skincare routine so that you can see the sunscreen step as well. Now what's important to keep in mind is that peptides do not like an acidic environment. So this refers to exfoliating acid cleansers primarily, or even vitamin C. Now you will be able to find everything in the description box. But I want to remind you that when it comes to the cleansing step, as a general guide, please just work with a regular non-exfoliating acid cleanser so that you're making sure that you can keep most of the peptide benefits and that it's not going to get influenced by a low pH. And so therefore, I've only picked in my example routines non-exfoliating acid cleansers. You can see the same examples right here. Now, in the morning, it's fine to just work with your regular cleanser. In the evening, it's fine to use your regular cleanser as well. But in case you have used a mineral sunscreen, if you have followed my example routine, or you have worn extremely stubborn makeup, well then work with an oil or balm cleanser instead in your evening skincare routine to properly take it off, or you may want to do a double cleanse. If you want to know more about a double cleanse, I'm going to leave a video in the top right corner. But I'm now going to keep my focus on the regular cleanse, so just using one of them. So as an example, I'm going to use Cetaphil's Daily Facial Cleanser, which is great for combination to oily skin. If you have a different one, replace it, make sure it's working well for you, and check the description on the back of the packaging on how you should use it. So right here it advises to use it with water, so you can wash your face either above the sink or in the shower. Just make sure that you're starting off with freshly washed and clean hands. And I'm now going to get started with wetting my face and neck using lukewarm water to warm water, then a bit of the cleanser, massaging it all over and then rinsing it off. So let's go ahead and do this. So about 1 to 2 pumps, depending on how much comes out, about a coin size amount. About that much. Rub your hands together and then gently massage it all over for about 30 seconds to a minute. So, and once you have massaged the cleanser all over, you now can go ahead and rinse it off. Now I'm going to rinse most of it off by using my hands, and then I'm going to use a washcloth in between. Take your washcloth and wet it. Squeeze it out. And I like to work with a washcloth, specifically those makeup microfiber cloths, because they're extremely soft, as it helps me to remove any last traces of the cleanser that I couldn't get off by just rinsing it with my hands. And I'll rinse again. So and once you have properly rinsed off the cleanser from the skin, you now are going to take a clean towel and gently pat all over to remove the excess water from the skin. Please do not apply the peptide serums to wet skin. This is just causing some issues. It does not feel comfortable and you may come across skincare pilling. So once you have pat off the excess, you now can move on to your first serum. Now I'm going to share with you the application when using them individually. The same would apply if you're going to use them together. Because now if you're getting started with using both in the same routine, my suggestion would be starting off with the Argiline solution because that one has a thinner texture, and then follow with Matrix Sil afterwards. But of course, if you're using them individually in your skincare routine, you do not need to worry about ORDAF application. But when working with the Argiline solution, there are two ways on how you can basically use it. So the Ordinary recommends to primarily work with the Argiline solution on the eye contour along the corners of the eyes where you can get those like fine lines right here. So this is the main target as well as your forehead. So you can go ahead and just use the Argiline solution on those areas, like either on the eye contour or forehead, or maybe both, but you do not necessarily need to use it all over your face and neck. However, on the other hand, if you prefer to use it all over, that's completely fine as well. So I'm going to show you now both methods. So first of all, that one has a very lightweight, kind of like water-like texture. So if you would use it over the entire face and neck, you would use between like 5 to 10 drops, more or less, so that you have enough product to evenly and thinly blend it all over. But of course, if you're just using it on the eye contour as well as your forehead, you'd need to use way less because it's a smaller area. Just make sure to not apply it on top of your eyelids. It's not meant for the eyelids, it's just primarily meant for the eye contour as well as this part right here where you can experience those fine lines. So if you're planning on using it on the eye contour, work with 2 drops, like 1 drop per eye, so that you then can blend it over, and then about maybe 2 to 3 drops for your forehead, maybe 4 drops, so that you have an even and thin layer and that it then can also somewhat absorb into the skin. So I'm going to go with 1 drop now per eye contour, and then you can either press it into the skin, like by gently tapping it into the skin, or you can blend it. Whatever method works the best for you. So either just gently go like this, just make sure to not get it into your eyes, and again, do not use it on your eyelids, or press it into the skin, but gently. And then the same on the other side. And then there you have it just for the eye contour. Now again, for your forehead, you can either put drops immediately onto your forehead or on your fingertips, whatever method works the best for you. And then start blending it. I just used 3 drops for my forehead. So 2 to 3 drops for the forehead, depending on how large your forehead is, should be enough so that you can blend it evenly. And then there you have it. So this would be now one method on how you can use the Argiline solution, but of course if you want to cover the rest of your faces, including your neck as well, it's fine to do so. And then just in total work with 5 to 10 drops. So and then in that specific case, I recommend putting the drops in the palm of your hand, rub your hands together and then blend it all over. So, and once you have blended it all over or just in that specific area, then you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And then if you just want to use one of them, that's completely fine. Now throughout the day you can follow with sunscreen, or in the evening if you still should feel the need, can follow with a moisturizer. However, if you want to include both, now the next step would be using Matrix Sil afterwards. And that one has a thicker texture, therefore you need to use less product because the drops have like a much larger size, so to say, and therefore you can come with about 3 to 5 drops for your entire face and neck. And then you can layer it on top of the Argiline solution. But again, make sure to not get it into your eyes nor use it on top of your eyelids. Blend your hands together and then gently blend it all over. Now if you prefer to put the drops immediately onto your face, that's completely fine. If you prefer to work with your fingertips or the palm of your hands, you can change the method accordingly. Just make sure that you have an even and thin layer all over when blending it. So, and once you're done with the application, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. So again, if this would be now your evening skincare routine, it's completely fine to stop right here. If those feel hydrating enough, just go with it. However, again, if you feel the need of following with a moisturizer, that's fine too. I just have one example right here from The Ordinary. So if you're planning on working with your moisturizer, use about a pea size to a bean size amount so that you can have an even and thin layer all over. So about that much, more or less. So this can change a bit depending on the moisturizer that you have picked, and then blend it between your fingers and evenly distribute it all over. But I'm now going to keep my main focus on a morning skincare routine. And in the morning, you usually would use a sunscreen that feels comfortable on the skin, depending on your skin type, depending on how much hydration your skin needs. So do you have like extremely hydrating cream-like sunscreens, you have light fluids, or even gels. So you can fit your sunscreen accordingly to your needs. And this is what I highly recommend, because then you can skip using a moisturizer in the morning, so you have less steps, so less layering issues. And so therefore, I'm now going to immediately move on to the sunscreen step. So as an example, I'm going to use NIOD Survival 30, and I'm going to evenly blend it all over my face, including ears as well as neck. Of course, if you want to include your décolletage as well, that's fine too, but you need to adjust the amount. So about half a teaspoon for your face, neck, including your ears, about 1 teaspoon for your décolletage. Now this can be slightly adjusted. This depends on the sunscreen that you have picked, but this just should give you an overall general guide so that you know that you need to use a fair amount to evenly and thinly blend it all over to protect the skin properly if you have sun exposure throughout the day. So I have a little spoon right here as a measurement, and I'm going to fill that up. So this is now half a teaspoon. I'm going to pour it into my hand. And now I'm going to evenly blend it all over. Now, when it comes to the application, you can use your sunscreen around the eyes if it does not irritate your eyes. Then it's completely fine to do so, because those need protection as well. If it irritates your eyes, leave it out, wear sunglasses instead, or maybe switch to a different sunscreen that you can use around the eyes. And so once you've applied your sunscreen all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And then again, this would be an example of a morning skincare routine that you can follow at home. Now I want to remind you, if you want to go over the example routines plus additional information, you will be able to find the entire PowerPoint in the description box down below. And if you now want to learn more about skincare in general, you want to see different applications, want to know more about certain ingredients, I have several videos on my channel. I'm going to link some of them at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did so, please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.